Hey detectives, welcome to the crew. I'm Sealor Janda, and this is my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we talked to a woman who makes dice and lives in the chimney of the doomed commercial area, and we're now going downstairs to try and find an off-site copy before we head out to investigate this truck driver drug smuggling operation. Alright, I guess we're done talking to her. Let's go downstairs and find this off-site copy. It's the ominous music. Sound effects, or whatever you want to call it.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping.
That's not going to work well.
The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well,
Mikey.
that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Advanced?
I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
Okay, here's a crazed theory. Or...
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
it's black, it's not like it's the
The
red one.
lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
I assume this will take more than 2 minutes, but I mean...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
3%.
The ice squeaks beneath the You see the
Yeah, well, that's... I have no idea.
Sooner
Does
or
this
later,
still need an advanced
you
tool?
will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then
Okay. I guess I'm
only
gonna plug
the
this
red
back
cable
in.
is plugged into the breaker box. What? Somewhere, a machine hums along.
Although it's possible if I just left it unplugged for a substantial period that it would work eventually, but oh well. Okay, it's getting late. We gotta go talk to Plaisance again. But what was that? No. But let's go talk to the old man down here first. Hey lads.
You're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sinking.
Yes, here it is.
What is this? Are you mocking us?
Oh,
This isn't
tragic.
for Betonk.
I see.
Now, no need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
Yes, I'm very sorry. It's the best I could find.
The best, huh? This isn't even a bull. But fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven.
Anything you can tell me about this rifle?
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable.
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims it at the sea. This man knows firearms intimately.
I bet he knows this rifle very well.
This
Yeah.
one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
Oh, in the basement there.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
Yeah, fair enough. We are failing a lot of these
Still,
rules.
all you see is an old...
Anything else I can assist you with, officer?
Thanks for your time. Oh, you're scummy old scum, huh, buddy? Have fun with that. Let's have another talk with Plaisance.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus?
Yes? How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
Honestly, Plaisance, it's just full of heaps of garbage. Someone should probably let the sunshine in.
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
Yes, her name is Neha. She's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, I'm afraid she's just a businesswoman.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She looks perplexed.
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down.
It really does. I'm just... This flashlight is full in her face,
She's
isn't it?
squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Look, there's too many inconsistencies. There's no curse.
Too many inconsistencies. What kind of talk is that?
The woman scoffs at you with an audible snort.
Good luck persuading her. Some people can rationalize anything.
As I said, she's a novelty dice maker, and her business has been up and running for a long time
Yes,
now.
because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the curse.
Red blotches appear on her
I
skin.
see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
She concludes, tucking the
There
pendant
was
away in her
never
blouse.
any other way this could have gone. She's just too far gone into her own mind.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
The shop around you
Yeah.
feels ancient suddenly, damp and saturated by the coastal air. The books are rotting. A great cold lives here, and there, too. 1,200 meters away, on the urban coast, the dark shape of a church is reflected on the water, calling.
We've gotten a lot of... If there's any curse, it's in this bloody church that's across the water that we can't get to yet. Apparently that thing is super cursed or something, I don't know. Alright, what next? We return the bull. Dice, 8 hours. Okay, later. Joyrider, tomorrow. We gotta talk to the drivers. We gotta visit the apartment after 2100. Call Alice back tomorrow. Talk about tattoos. I'd like to find this too, but I have no idea how. Oh yes, we gotta tell Vart that we've opened the apartment door. Right, and we need to wash the boots as well. Okay, first thing is talk to the truck drivers a little more.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
Sure.
But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Do you finance those other addictions with drug
Hey,
trafficking?
man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment. is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit, usually through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud.
Maybe straight with you, I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Who do you think could be doing it then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
He might be lying. I just pin it all on the racist. I'm not actually sure he's doing the drug thing, but I could just blame him anyway.
Looking for something, Runt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
This your mug?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
Oh god. Is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
Right. You're a lorry man. What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Cigarette. He takes a long crack in this cigarette. So, what's so different about narcotics?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector.
This man might be too sincerely racist to be a drug trafficker.
They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Oh god, do I want to say this? So you're not smuggling drugs out of
Not
Martinez?
in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
What are you still hanging around for then? Most of the others have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the doors open on my way here. You know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
No. You were all whirling. How do you know it was Kips that broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's
Oh,
a kips
boy.
who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man.
I see. So who's running drugs through the terminal
Isn't
then?
it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
This is a racist accusation. However, he was running a super shady business, so... The one reselling humanitarian aid
That's
packages?
the one. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood.
Lorryman takes a slow, satisfied drag and blows his
He's your
smoke
man,
ring.
all right. 100%. He's a lorryman selling his employer stuff. Broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. No doubt he's selling drugs too.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
Guess we need to talk to him. Yeah, super racist accusation. However, doesn't mean it's not Sealang. He was reselling humanitarian aid packages, which is not, like, the most upstanding thing to be doing, really.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Right. What's your stance on drugs, Sealang?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
I'm super into
That's
drugs.
very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
He's smart. Well, he's smart.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
Yeah, I'm looking for a lorry driver transporting drugs out of the harbor that's in this traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
But you are a lorry man, and other drivers identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right?
Yes.
I bet it's him. He has
Yes.
an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does.
Probably true.
He's a hater.
Yeah. All of that is true, but it doesn't mean that this specific accusation
So you admit
necessarily
you're a
is
lorry driver?
wrong. You're a little shady,
No,
Sealing.
I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm
You're a lorry driver.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
okay. Maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
Sealing, my source tells me you're the one transporting drugs for the Union.
No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that?
Stop squirming. What do you know about it?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd! You know, the drug crowd?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Okay, if you don't know, I'll tell your employer you've been selling his stuff.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there. After we've called his boss.
Okay,
Kim
look.
plays along real well.
There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
Mm-hmm. If you don't want to get into this mess, then why don't you give us a reason to move on?
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
She wouldn't be the old woman who's dazed out and weird back there?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
He's not ruling her out.
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
He points north.
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Could she have an association with the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that.
Alright, we're cool,
All
Sealing.
right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
How about now you give me some money?
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Hey, you seem like a real successful entrepreneur, Sealing. Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you, come on.
Think of it as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
It's an investment into good relations with the RCM.
I hear you, officer.
One
kind of a sum are we talking about
million real. How about 10
Sounds
real?
like a fair
Ceiling.
deal all around.
He takes a 10 note from a leather pouch.
Corruption.
Thanks, Kim.
It's just like us or Seagull. A kid watching out of a window describing things going by. He doesn't like it too much, but what do you do?
Alright, I'll leave you to it for now. Don't worry about it, Kim. It's just a little bit of corruption. I wasn't gonna arrest him anyway. Okay, now where's the old woman? Is she back here somewhere? No, we've gone too far south. Yeah, everything's good, Sea Lang, don't worry. Now where was the lady? Back here, maybe? I think perhaps she was back up against the corner over here, yeah. This is literally the only female character around here, so I think we gotta ask her.
Still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
I was hoping... Are you alright, ma'am? You were out.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
She heads with contempt. What's so bad about the 50s?
The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber?
Okay. When else would you be?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is.
The look she gives you is accusatory. So I take it you were in Mesk when you were young?
Someone was.
She nods, the meaning was perfectly clear. These, not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
All of what? The world. The present.
Who's Gabriel Buenguerro?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
She shows you the photograph in the lavish amber frame.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you. His head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
She leans back, savoring the world she's conjured up.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Sorry to interrupt your dreaming,
I
ma'am.
wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Her eyes narrow and she appears to take your measure.
While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Okay, I have some other questions for you. Police questions.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
Are you the lady driver?
Did you just call me a lady, Harife?
Well, I was told of a woman driver and you're the only one here.
I'm not that either, Harife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
So you're not the driver everyone's terrified of?
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
I see. Why are you so scared of the people who used to know you?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
She seems a little broken, but that doesn't rule out smuggling drugs, You said long
The
haul.
big one,
That's...
the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just...
She hums along as if to a track on
In
repeat.
the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
You feel very cold suddenly, as if standing face to face with a terrifying adversary. Then the feeling dissipates, and all you see is an aging woman. In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
Okay, who's the female driver I was told of then?
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?
Okay, that's all I
We'll
need to
see.
know, thanks. What are you hauling?
Diamonds?
Diamonds?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Sure. What are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your
I
own
quit
lorry?
concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
I don't think I do know what you mean.
Of course you don't.
Okay. What's this whole Boyadero thing?
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to on the Western Plain.
The Boyadero, Boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. He is a rugged individualist and explorer.
Okay, what's on the Western Plain?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
I take it that doesn't happen?
Of course not. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
Yeah, I think we know where this is going.
So the Boyadero strangles
I
his
didn't think it
beloved
was
and
going that way.
throws her
Jesus.
body in the Maigret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
Never mind, not where I thought that was going.
You have to understand. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a Boyadero.
Before I came, you seemed kind of away.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's the lady driver?
No, she doesn't.
You
seem-
hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Should you drive a lorry if you get like that?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will.
What
The
rounds?
Monozov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind
A terrible
submerge.
cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly.
She opens her eyes again and shudders. As something of an expert in blacking out, you should probably take better care of yourself.
You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that
Yeah.
all you woke me up to say?
No, you seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs.
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare.
The adversary?
Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those
See.
epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary. The great unrest.
It's not really what I was getting
Then
at.
what were you getting at?
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
If Rat sent me?
Who the fuck is Irat?
Union boss?
And what do I care about the Union boss? He's no Gabriel. He's no Franco Negro. He's not even Hermenegildo the Hound.
Let me put this another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
You said earlier you don't know what you're hauling. Could it be drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Lowman?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking
It's
you.
diamonds, Lowman, obviously.
Okay, if you had to guess, who is smuggling drugs?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Okay, if you're not involved with drug trafficking, why are you still waiting
Where
here?
do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the filters of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Yeah, I think we're done here.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Her voice trails off. He doesn't really seem present enough to be smuggling drugs. I haven't seen any other female driver. Alright, here's these losers. We can talk to this guy again, but
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man.
I heard
What's
one
up?
of the drivers is a woman. Don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
Why, you know something? What is it?
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
Who is this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do know.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
It's true. We would of course lie. But a kind heart is tricky. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
What's she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
Entirely unhelpful, Tommy.
What color hair?
Yeah.
Blue and violet.
Okay, that's
Dyed.
much more distinctive.
It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Also true. When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Well, you said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
I see.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
You really are a nice guy, Tommy.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Did she leave her lorry behind when she left?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Wait, this guy says they're friends. then acquaintances.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
And he's okay with others ratting her out.
So you just don't want to get your hands dirty?
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too.
Look, I need this for several investigations. I cannot blow
You're
this.
not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
At least a 50-50 chance I do, if only. I didn't ever get my gun back yet, did I? Oh wait, yes I did. No, I didn't. It got pawned, but I don't know where it went. I'll drop it for now.
Frank. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again.
Let me just go talk to the racist. I mean, he's a proper jackass, but he'll probably tell me.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Yeah, you've been giving me the runaround. Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
First of all, you knew C-Lang didn't do it.
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
And why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
So who does? The lady driver?
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West.
I see.
Yeah, him.
Cross your arms.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
I see
You're
that.
not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this.
He's very good at this.
Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
Alright, buddy.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
He tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends.
The lieutenant turns and
We're
gives you
done,
a
Kim.
barely perceptible nod. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him.
Minor problem, I'm still really bad at this.
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
No, it's not. Why don't we step outside for a little talk? Uh-oh.
What do you think we're doing right now, Runt? We're outside, talking.
I meant, do you want to find someplace private to... Oh, shit.
There's some kind of homo thing?
No, no, of course not. Just tell me what you fucking know. Oh, God. I'm
Make
around.
me, Runt.
He blows a cloud of smoke right
Let's
in front
just
of
go
your
and
face.
ask Tommy, alright? We are wasting our time here.
Yeah, that was a miserable failure. Look, Tommy, I hate to do it to you. I tried to intimidate the racist. It didn't work that well.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man.
I've changed my
What?
mind.
But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. There's a ton of drivers here.
The racist won't tell me. The other lady is too zonked out on her own psychological traumas. The shopkeep dude doesn't know. So she's a suspect, and I need you to tell me where she is, or I can't finish the investigation, Tommy.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
Oh. Something breaks in him as he stares into your eyes.
Here.
He takes a keyring from his pocket, then looks at it before giving it to you, in silence.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday.
Sorry I had to do this,
I
man.
bet you are.
But you have the keys?
She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise...
He doesn't finish the sentence.
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
He nods.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
Nah. I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. I hope it gets you something. Help someone.
Maybe. Past the statue of Philippe. This is the statue of Philippe. Green cabin. This one right here?
This green found, A to Z, contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our man pointed to.
The lieutenant peeks inside.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
Alright, let's take a look.
These
Posters?
are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume. Probably Grenade No. 5.
Juniper, huh?
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
Yeah, that happens a lot. What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Radio?
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Why does anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Anything we could do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
Is Speed Freaks FM
No,
saved?
that's on 78.9.
Stops, coughing awkwardly.
What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
Okay, what
The
else?
ghostly actresses, and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat, and the oddly bulging seat cover.
Check the
You
pedals.
wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Makes sense, I guess.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Oh. The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole. Glad my detective is quicker on the uptake than me.
Yes?
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration, one sole smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Yes, indeed. Now that is a breakthrough. The lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. The missing 8th Hardy, and also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
Now we know for certain who is the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
That would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
Understood. We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
No.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
Let's peel off
Voila.
that cover.
A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachon. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
The lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasure, well worn and folded into neat squares.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the mass of brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where
To
does that
Kulu,
lead?
through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
Second map.
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own.
What's that sound?
The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights.
And the third map?
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Despite the cold, figures move about cloaked in shadow, their breath escaping in white clouds that fade into the darkness. Wherever you look, the night gives cover to her messengers.
Where are they
They
going?
travel from eminent domain to perdition and onto the main, over the River Esperance, on Route 881 to the Old South, the exit ramp is supposed to be shut down, but there's much activity. The road spreads like the tentacles of a great octopus. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
Smugglers have infiltrated the motor tract,
So
Kim.
it would seem.
The lieutenant examines the maps with a furrowed brow.
The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Where does the contraband end up?
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it.
Besmerti? That sounds vaguely familiar.
The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes. But really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol.
I see.
With cool names, like La Puta Madre and Aura Mazda. It's a dark parody.
I see. So who do we think's behind
It's
this?
definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
I see.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system.
The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
His thought trails off.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows. He closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Absolutely.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Yeah, seems like something police would do. What do you think, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
Yeah, we could get super murdered for looking into this, probably.
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
Yeah, I actually feel less bad about harassing Tommy now, because it's pretty clear that his little girlfriend here is, like, a pretty significant part of this drug trafficking operation. And probably not as good a person as she came off as.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
Yes. Will the RCM investigate this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think.
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
So it turns out this is connected
Like
to the
Joyce
Union.
told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them to other ends. as extra ammunition.
That was
Maybe
my thought too, actually.
Someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
No, in the going to jail sense, no. But it did occur to me that I could probably use it for a little bit. Like, I could get information from Joyce by taking this back to her. I might also be able to hint about this to Everard, get information about him. Or from him. What about the movie posters?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
A lot of women there for a lady driver's cabin.
Yes, well...
Okay, Kim. Debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
He doesn't want to talk about that. Alright. We have a few things still to do for the day. We could talk to Titus again. Honestly, I'd like to talk to Titus and Everard and Joyce. And maybe break open another slot for, let's see here. This will not be good for my vision. Doesn't seem helpful. Let's start internalizing some communism, shall we? Okay, so we want to go talk to various people, but that's going to be for next time. In the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all have a nice day. This is Seed Lord Janda, signing off.